Okay, I think we'll start there. So, good morning, everybody. My name is Chris Smyth, and I'm the president of the France-Ireland Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for tuning in this morning. This is our first Fireside Chat of 2025, and my first Fireside Chat doing this job. And I'm delighted this morning to welcome Mary Ryan, who's the CEO of Crédit Agricole Creditor Insurance Group. It's a leading life, non-life and reinsurance subsidiary here in Ireland with teams in Dublin, Paris, Milan and most recently Stuttgart. Mary is also the Vice President of the France-Ireland Chamber of Commerce. So I'm delighted to have Mary with us today to hear her story. So Mary, welcome. How are you?
Good morning, Chris. Thank you for having me. Doing very well, thank you.
Good. So Mary, look, we start off with the tried and tested with the questions that we've used in the past. And we always start by asking the CEOs to describe their company and their presence in Ireland.
Of course, Chris. Yeah, so CACI, Crédit Agricole Creditor Insurance, subsidiary, as you said, they're of Crédit Agricole Assurances Group. That's the insurance business line of the global banking group, Crédit Agricole. We're a European leader in creditor insurance and lifestyle protection. So creditor insurance, an example would be your mortgage protection, life and non-life cover. 3 regulated entities here in Ireland, life, a non-life and a reinsurance entity. And we serve over 5.5 million customers across Europe, 6 countries in Europe. And we do that through strategic partnerships with Crédit Agricole retail banks and consumer finance institutions. So those retail banks, consumer finance institutions, they'd be our distribution partners across Europe, and they distribute our products. So when Crédit Agricole Italia, for example, the retail bank in Italy, is issuing a mortgage, the CACI mortgage protection would be sold alongside that product, for example. So turnover in 2024, 1.2 billion. So quite sizable, quite very good year for business. The companies here were established in 1998. So last year we celebrated our 25th anniversary. And we integrated the insurance division of the group in 2008. So initially we were FINREF. We became Crédit Agricole Creditor Insurance in 2008. Mission is very important for us, and our mission here is to protect customers and their families in life's fragile moments. So what we do is very particular, and we, I suppose, enter our customer journey at difficult moments of their lives. And that's something that's very important for us, very strong for us, and it gives a sense of purpose, in essence, to our teams here. So when we enter the customer's lives, it's often when there's a death in the family, often when people have lost their jobs, often when people fall disabled for whatever reason, and we enter and provide insurance coverage in those moments. So we're very conscious of that, that our relationship with our customers is a very particular one. Headquartered here in Dublin, as I said, 26 years this year, with the branches then Paris, Milan, Stuttgart. Ireland really is our operational heart of the business. We're incredibly proud of our diverse, dynamic team with 200 employees representing 25 nationalities. Great diversity that fuels really our innovation, and we're very proud of what that diversity brings. It's very enriching, and it's a pleasure and a privilege, I would say, to work with such diverse teams on a day-to-day basis. We've been awarded Best Workplace in Ireland for the 9th consecutive year, 2025. And that's something that's, I suppose it's an achievement really that speaks volumes in itself, and it's our people who speak and our people who vote. So it's not me as CEO saying we're great at what we do. It's actually our people who certify us and have ensured that we've received that award for the 9th consecutive year. And that's testament to the culture, and we're all leaders in that aspect of the organization, I have to say, and proud of that.
Yeah, listen to you there, it sounds like you have a very big role in a very big company, but at the end of it, you're very grounded. You're very much about the client, the end user, and about your staff as well. So you come across as very personable in that way, that you think about the business and about the employees and about your clients, that you want to make a difference, it sounds.
Absolutely. I think, I mean, we have three strategic pillars within the group: a customer pillar, a human pillar, and a societal pillar. And for me, the people are at the heart of what we do, because effectively you have to look after your people so that they can look after your customers, right? And as I said, when we enter the customer's journey, effectively, it is fragile moments, and we, regardless of where people sit on the value chain of insurance, whether you're pricing a product, whether you're designing a product, or whether you're paying a claim at the other end, and you may not have direct contact, in fact, with that customer, you may not be on the front line with the customer, everyone in the value chain is conscious that what we do has a purpose, and we're very strong on that. The culture of the organization, critical, as I mentioned, we put huge focus on that, ensuring that our people are well looked after, in fact, yes, because then only when they're looked after can they look after your customers at the end of the day. Yeah.
It's a good mantra, no, you're right. So tell me, how did you come to, get into the role, and, what exactly is your role? What do you do?
So, well, the title is CEO, right?
Yeah.
You wear many hats, as you know, in
Yeah.
the CEO role, right? So I effectively, I suppose, I oversee the three regulated entities here and the three branches across Europe, right? The journey to CEO was an interesting one. So I joined the group in 2006, January 2006. So almost 20 years with the group now at this stage. It's been an incredible journey, roller coaster at times, as you can imagine, but always an exciting career trajectory, I would say. So initially I joined as head of operations, so very much customer journey focused, frontline, with the customers on the full value chain there for the customer service activity. Deputy general manager after that, deputy to the CEO, and stepped into the role as CEO then in 2017. Crédit Agricole Group, very focused on career development, retaining talent within the group, and very much supportive of people upskilling, developing in their role, and that could be either on the job or professional development. So the group, for example, would have sponsored my MBA at Smurfit. I've been through the Institute of Directors Chartered Director Program, so always very, very supportive of people developing. So we'd have an actuarial community here of about 40 actuaries. Many of those would have trained, so they'd have come out of university having studied actuarial science or applied maths, and they would then train and qualify as an actuary on the job here with us, and we'd sponsor that qualification. We'd have finance people in accountancy qualification pathway, and then we'd have insurance professionals going through the Institute of Insurance. So very focused on people developing themselves, remaining relevant, and I suppose future-proofing themselves and ensuring that their career trajectory is sustainable. I'd sit on a number of executive committees in Paris as well, travel quite a bit, so I'm over and back to Paris at least twice a month, and then of course out to the branches on the ground across Europe as well. So close to the people who deliver the business effectively for us, and it's been a very interesting career path to date, I have to say. Yeah.
Sounds like it. I just want to say to all of our listeners as well, if anybody wants to submit any questions, just submit them in the comment or the question on the chat message, and maybe at the end we have a few minutes, we might ask Mary some questions as well. But Mary, it's interesting listening to you there about, you're very keen for your staff and your people working with you to upskill and, to learn. But equally yourself, you've done a lot yourself to study and kind of, get new skills and so forth. You picked up a few languages along the way as well, I think, have you?
Well, yeah, absolutely. So German, I studied German and French. So, initially, I started out with Allianz, and there, I suppose I was, for the first couple of years of my insurance career, I was more trending towards the German parent and using my German language, let's say, on a daily basis. Then, since joining Crédit Agricole, French language, I mean, I'd speak French practically every day here, even in Dublin. Many of the meetings with the colleagues in Paris would naturally be in French language. So my German has been a bit rusty, I have to say, having spent 20 years with the French group. However, as you mentioned there, in February, we opened a branch in Stuttgart in Germany, and it gave me great pleasure, I have to say, to be back in German-speaking territory and being able to brush up on the German again, let's say. So I didn't quite, it was a bit rusty, but I didn't quite lose it. So I was able to converse in February with the locals and the natives. So that was great. You have to use it or lose it, they say, isn't it? You know.
And you lived in Germany for a while as well, did you? Were you out in Germany? Yeah.
I did, yeah. Your research is good now, Chris. I lived in Munich. God, that was the last century now, if I may say. 98, 99. I did internship and a work placement with Siemens in Munich back in the day. So that was interesting. That was 2 years, and I studied for a semester in Innsbruck in Austria. Now, I say I studied, I did quite a bit of skiing now. It happened to be the winter season. So I took advantage of the location, let's say, and perfected my skiing as well as a bit of study on the side as well. You have to.
Have to work and play. That's all about, isn't it?
That's it.
Why not?
Yeah.
So, what is, obviously a very senior role, you've worked very hard at it. You're in the company a number of years now. So what's the most challenging aspect of the role, Mary? What do you find the most challenging aspect of it?
I suppose some of the greatest challenges, but most rewarding part is that things are constantly evolving, right? Evolving with the times. Really, the challenge is keeping teams motivated, keeping people motivated, keeping them engaged and inspired in an ever-changing, let's say, an ever-evolving environment. And change really is a constant of our industry. The insurance landscape never stands still. And whether that's regulation, we're regulated here by the Central Bank of Ireland, but naturally operating in 6 European countries. We are regulated for conduct of business by ACPR, French regulator, EVAS, Italian regulator, BaFin, the German regulator. And in other jurisdictions where we operate as well, you have to have a very close ear to what's going on the ground. So regulation constantly changing, right? Technology constantly changing, and I mean, very disruptive. We're undergoing major digitalization projects, digitalizing the customer journey. We have AI on board now, and we just absolutely have to move with the times, and we have to keep on top of, and we have to educate people to make sure that the likes of AI seem to complement people, complement the human, and not replace the humans. So that's something that's really something we're putting a particular focus on. Societal change, right? We see the climate, the environmental issues at stake, and I mentioned the strategic project. We have a societal project which looks at everything from our commitments, environmental commitments, our corporate social responsibility, and down to the community around us here. While we don't actively do business in Ireland at the moment, we support charities chosen by our staff, supporting the charities in the environment here that surrounds us in Dublin. So leading through change, I think it requires a very strong focus on communication, on transparency, on being very clear about the direction you're going, and of course continuous learning, as we said, for myself and for the organization effectively. So in a transformation and ever-changing, ever-evolving landscape, as CEO, you're both an anchor and a catalyst effectively, right? So you provide stability, but you have to give the direction also, and that's something while you're embracing, let's say, the change and the transformation. People react differently to change, whatever the nature it is, you know, but it's a balance that you have to strike, and that can be challenging at times, but very makes the role very dynamic and very rewarding.
Yeah. Do you find, I know you're with the change, do you find sometimes, you know, frustration with yourself that you have kind of, you want to play the short game and want to play the long game, and you're kind of, I needed this to happen, but you're not, you're not getting to where you want to be as quickly as you'd like to be?
Slight bit sense of impatience
Yes.
from time to time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, look, we're in the throes of a major transformation program at the moment, and that's a 3-year journey. And I have to be very conscious that, you know, people react to change differently. And it is a journey, and it is a journey that will take 3 years. It's an exciting one, but you have to be sure that you're bringing everybody with you, right? You have to be sure that everybody understands the why you're transforming, and what results you're looking to achieve on the other side, right? And making sure that you're bringing everybody with you along the journey, and nobody's left behind or nobody's left on the outside. That's really important for me.
It's interesting when you talk about the changes going on in the business internally, what you're doing, about you're making changes for the good of the business, but equally outside, you're in the insurance business. Every year is going to change. It's not, it's very difficult. I know in other businesses you can fairly budget and target and do things, but your business particularly, you spoke there about the environment and so forth. Anything can happen in your business and can affect your business, and you have to react to that, don't you?
Absolutely, absolutely. Now I'm blessed to be surrounded by a bunch of excellent actuaries, and they are really the backbone of, I suppose, projecting for the business. We do a lot of scenario planning.
Yeah.
So solvency is obviously a key indicator for our business. So we have a very strong risk function here, and I have an annual exercise which looks at our own risk and solvency assessment, and we're looking at scenarios there which could happen, and looking at planning for those, and looking at putting, I suppose, processes and procedures in place should any of those events happen, that we're well positioned and that we're well capitalized and well solvent in order to I suppose stand the test of any eventuality that can arise.
You spoke actuaries, maybe when you go to college and school, everybody knew about the actuaries. Like, they were always the brainiest ones in the class. Like, everyone. Is it hard getting staff and getting the quality, or is it difficult? Is the education system here in Ireland producing enough actuaries now for your business?
Well, Ireland is actually one of the top suppliers of actuarial talent in the world, in fact. Some excellent programs, and we collaborate with the university system, which is really important for us. Queen's University in Belfast, UCD and DCU. So they would be very strong in actuarial science, applied maths disciplines, right? Yes. And we would provide then the Erasmus or the gap year. We would provide work placement opportunities for young aspiring actuaries, and we generally find very good quality of talent in that domain, and generally, so we've had some very good experiences whereby the students that come out on work placement, we keep in touch with them and we try to get them back in once they graduate. And we have some actuaries here with us who were interns 15 years ago. Right. And and they've grown with the business, and they're leaders within the business now, and that's something that gives me great satisfaction to see people, from coming out from university, whereby you have all of the theory and you're looking to put that into practice, and then you see the trajectory as they grow and develop with you, and you nurture that, and try to retain it, of course, as well along the way. So
No, it's great. No, I mean, it's great to hear that. Like, you have people coming in and then they're still with you, and you've watched our journey along, and the
Mm,
businesses benefit from it, and they've
mm.
grown as well, which is fantastic. It's
I
really good.
often say, as leaders, and I'm sure you'd experience that yourself, there's no greater satisfaction than seeing people grow and develop with the business. And,
Yeah.
and sometimes they'll flee the nest and they'll go off and do bigger and better things elsewhere, and you have to let them go,
Yeah.
from time to time. But that's the satisfaction to say, well, they joined us in a junior role and now they're CEO somewhere. Like
Yeah.
it's and to be part of that development is for me one of the most enriching parts of the
It
role,
is.
I have to say.
It is fantastic. I know there's one or two questions coming in. We'll go to the questions at the end. I suppose another question, like, what are you most excited about then?
So we are on a very exciting trajectory as a business. We have very strong strategic ambitions. I talked about the German market. That's quite the strategic market for us at the moment. It's also the first market. So up to now, we've been really a captive insurance group, insuring the retail banks and consumer finance institutions of Crédit Agricole Group. Why Germany is interesting for us, it's the first time in the history of the companies that we're taking our competencies, expertise, skills, and know-how in creditor insurance, and we're bringing that to the broad market. So we're going out to the open market, and Germany is the pilot effectively for us there. So that's hugely exciting. And since opening the branch in February, my chief commercial and marketing officer and branch manager have secured two interesting partnerships already 2 months in. So it's very exciting for us. We see strong potential on the German market. And as I said, that's just the start of our offering. Product innovation is huge, in line with the societal piece. Mobility sector is very strategic for us. So we have a lot of innovation around our product design going on there to accompany the mobility players. And Crédit Agricole has a bank dedicated to mobility solutions, Crédit Agricole Auto Bank. So that's exciting, and it's I suppose a segment that's growing for us. The transformation program, I'm one of those people that embraces change, albeit, as I said, I'm very well aware that it's not the same for everybody. So for me, transforming the organization is very exciting. It's a 3-year program, a 3-year journey, and what we're ultimately going to achieve is a sustainable, relevant organization for the future. And that is everything from target operating model, brand new digital policy management system. We're looking at optimization, candidate AI projects, candidate use cases for AI, and a huge number of important transformations effectively, looking at future-proofing the organization, ensuring that we're fit for purpose for the future, and in doing so, creating a number of opportunities for our people. So we're really an organization that's in growth and transformation phase, and it's an exciting place to be, I have to say. Probably one of the most exciting phases of the 20 years that I've been with the group, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a great, like, in a business like that, when you get that little springboard, and all of a sudden it kind of gets everybody going again. Everybody's, we're all on the same road here, and it's something new and exciting, and we're all in the
new
start.
momentum. Yeah, a new momentum, a new dynamic, and an exciting time for us. And it's a time to embrace, really, and to find and seek out the opportunities really to grow. Of course, I'm excited to be Vice President, Chris, also to work alongside you, I have to say.
Well, Mary, I'm equally as excited to have you as the Vice President. I think
I
the two
know.
of us now we're doing a good job here today. It's going well so far. This is our first kind of a duo here now. This is going well. So this is a good sign for the future.
Yeah.
So I suppose a question then that we always ask is, what's the one thing you know now that you wish you'd known 5 years ago?
Well, I suppose 5 years ago we were in that dreaded COVID space. I know we don't like to talk about it, and we've kind of parked it and put it behind us, but COVID, I suppose, was hugely transformative for organizations, right? And look, we couldn't have foreseen the level of transformation that it would bring, and the acceleration and the pace of that transformation, whether it was the ways of working, the ways of communicating, and I suppose the level of trust leaders had to put in their teams, which may or may not have been natural for them in their leadership style. So had we known back then, I mean, the accelerated pace of transformation, you couldn't have planned for it, I think, really. It was something, but we're definitely reaping the benefits, reaping the rewards. And if you can get through COVID, I think you can get through anything, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it was a tough time for everybody, but I think it was a reset as well, wasn't it? And I think people have come out of, business have come out, a lot of business like ourselves, we've come out better and we're a lot more knowledgeable now, we're probably a bit wiser because of this. While it was a terrible time, it certainly was a learning curve for everybody. But it's great to hear, your business is doing so well, and that you're really excited about it, which is great to hear. And it seems you're on a really, really good trajectory at the moment, which is fantastic.
No, and it's, as I said, it's an exciting time to be with and to be leading the organization. But in leading the organization, of course, always acknowledging the strong team I have around me, because I'm only one person in the chain. It's the backbone that gets the results on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely. And actually, just one of the questions we have in here from Amber is asked, how do you look at talent retention in your organization, both local and foreign talent?
Oh, yeah. Interesting question. So, being part of Crédit Agricole Group, we have access to talent, let's say international talent, a lot of very strong French talent within the group, but also talent from international subsidiaries. And mobility is a strategic axe for us in terms of retaining talent within the group, giving, in particular, I would say, giving many of our French colleagues an international experience. So international leadership, international management, international program management, because let's face it, and on any given period, we would have a number of people on mobility from Crédit Agricole Group centrally in Paris. And what they get when they come to Ireland is not just an international life experience, but it really is on the job. The diversity of talent, the leadership lessons in how to lead in a multicultural, multilingual environment, the importance of communication, simple communication. You're delivering messages, you're delivering strategy to people, 25 nationalities, all with different levels of English language. And you have to really be very clear, very simple in your communication to ensure that your messages are landing well, they're landing clearly, and they're well understood. And they're understood, by the way, in the same manner by everybody, right? And that's an art in itself. So communication is critical. The local talent, I talked about collaborating with the universities. That's strong for us, in particular on the actuarial side. Retaining our talent is really a strategic, important pillar for us also. And I have a chief people and culture officer who works hand in hand with the business. And that is, I think, the critical point in terms of how human resources has evolved over time as well. It's about a business partnership. It's about understanding the strategy of the organization, knowing where the organization is going and how you can partner with the business to ensure they're well resourced and that we're retaining the top talent. And then there's the development piece, because you'll only retain people if they see development opportunities, if they feel like they're learning every day, and if they feel like their career is on an upward trajectory. So all of those things, people, human project is a critical one for us, within which all of that talent development and retention piece is dealt with. Yeah.
Very good. Mary, we've come to the end of the Fireside chat. It was really, really insightful, and was I'm delighted to talk to you. I'm delighted that you were the first CEO at the Fireside chat. So thank you very much for sharing your story with us and your business, what's going on. It sounds like exciting times. And look, to everybody out there, I hope you enjoyed the Fireside chat with Mary Ryan today. It'll be up on the website very shortly. So thank you very much, everybody. And Mary, thank you very much for today.
Thank you, Chris. It was a pleasure. Thank you. Bye-bye.